What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke from StrengthAddicts.com at the 2018 IFB Pro League Pittsburgh Pro, our president, Mr. Jim Mannion's show. I'm here with IFB Pro bodybuilder Abbas Khatami. Abbas, how are you today?
I'm great, Christian. How you doing, brother?
Fantastic. We are here at Mr. Jim Mannion's show. Tell us why you're here.
Well, the East Coast is all hardcore. I was born and raised on the East Coast. I turned pro at the North American. So all the years coming back to the North American, I just started meeting people, starting making friendships, and I just kept them. And I got a couple clients in the show, and that's why I'm here.
And I got to tell you, there is like an absolute madhouse here. There's so much stuff going on. There are people everywhere. We got, Phil Heath guest posing, Dexter Jackson, Kevin Lavroni. I mean, everyone's here, and you're here as well. And you're someone that really brought a lot of conditioning from yesteryear, a lot of conditioning which we aren't really seeing so much of right now. In fact, even Kevin Lavroni has said, and others have said, that the conditioning of the 90s easily trumps the conditioning of today.
I can't agree more. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's this generation. I don't mean to be mean, but I think there's too many entitled little fucking bitches, to be honest. They don't want to work hard. You see somebody here that just walked off stage who is a pro because he didn't like his placing. Let me tell you something. It took me 10 years to get my pro card. I never once walked off stage. You take it gracefully, and you just keep punching, keep rolling with the punches. Going back to conditioning, 90s, late 90s, 2000s was unbelievable. They were crisp, they were dry. Dorian's age, that era. I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't want to work hard. Maybe it's all this Instagram shit that's going on. They just want to keep posting these pictures instead of busting their ass in the gym and then showing up at a show and looking fucking unbelievable. We didn't have all this bullshit coming up, We didn't have these fucking little gay-ass selfies and all this kind of stuff. Sorry to say, that's just my real thoughts. I mean, we went to the gym, we took Polaroids, or we developed pictures, sent it to our coaches we had to wait 3 days to get responses back. Nobody knew who was going to the show until you showed up to the show and people dropped their drawers to weigh in. Now everybody's posting these pictures, these progress pictures. I don't think, honestly, people are doing this for the love of the sport. They're doing it for attention. We did it for the love of the sport. We busted our asses.
No, absolutely. I mean, the 90s were, just monumental, like a second golden era. And I can't tell you the last time. I think it was Ronnie J and Gustavo Bedell. I think that was the last time that guys at the Olympia actually showcased their wheels at a press conference. Now nobody does that.
That was the best. I was at all those press conferences. I was, still good friends with Jay. And them dropping their drawers and posing off, that was the best. I mean, that's entertainment. You need entertainment in the sport. You need some people who are outspoken. I always said bring a little WWE to the IFBB, because it's fun. And then on top of that, going into posing, nobody even poses great on stage.
Well, and speaking of posing, back in the day, you had, Vince Taylor, and you had Melvin Anthony, you had King Kamali. Really great posers that really presented their physiques on stage,
Oh, even, Labrada, Bob Paris, all these guys, they had this artistic way of posing. And it was beautiful with beautiful, what kind of gladiator type music, whatnot. Then you go into Melvin's era, which Melvin was a badass at posing. I even say Kamali was good too. He was very entertaining. The only thing I didn't agree with, you got to hit a little bit more poses. Shaking and wiggling your ass. We're not at a fucking nightclub. I can do that too, but he did, and Vince Taylor was awesome. I think he took what Vince Taylor did and took it a little bit to another level.
Absolutely. Now, the last question I have, you didn't actually really formally retire, right? You just sort of...
It's a long story, to be honest. When you're pushing every year to just try to get that top spot, and then finally when you do break through, I want to say, to be honest, I kind of pretty much was I'd pushed myself so hard. I was burnt out by that point, And so I took a good year off. I had a little kind of setbacks. Some good friends of mine passed away. That kind of affected me. It made me look at life a little bit more different, because I was like a horse with blinders on. I just took straight forward for 10 years. I didn't do anything. I didn't party. I didn't go out. I didn't do anything. And now, when you start living life and you see people that you knew for a long time, they're passing away, and some health issues, this and that. You take your life into perspective and you see things at a little bit different angle and viewpoint. And so, yeah, I came back after a few years of taking off. But when you let your foot off the gas and you don't keep going, you lose a little of that edge. So I just wasn't my best when I came back. That's all it was.
And I think for someone of your stature, from your era, that's the only thing you'd ever want to bring to the stage is your best.
I did the best I could. I tried to come back in 2014, but that was the start of my neck issues because I did some WWE wrestling for a little bit. And, and the pounding that you take on your neck and your back, started getting some like degenerative disc. That affected certain areas of my body. So, alone just bodybuilding itself and building up the muscles is hard enough.
And the neck is a very, I mean, Dennis Wolf also, I think, has some neck issues. I mean, you have hernias, you have torn biceps, that kind of thing, but the neck is a very, very delicate, it's not very common.
Yeah, with Dennis Wolf, you can see, I mean, and I'm not picking on him by no means. He was an awesome, badass bodybuilder, but you can see he's not fully to what he was. And I don't think he will, because those nerves that are pinched off are going to his rear delts, his triceps, a little bit of his lats, and it's the same thing that happened to me, and it wrapped around into my chest. And then you got to start going to different things and, I don't know, progressing to like site injections and all that kind of shit just to bring those areas up because the nerves are not firing. So I had to be real with myself, I mean, yeah, it was hard. 20 years I did one thing, and now I got to say, listen, I just want to be healthy and live and look good.
Absolutely, but you're doing a great job. You're coaching, you're bringing people to the stage. You're here at Mr. Jim Mannion's show, which is huge. Where can friends and fans go to stay up to date with you on social media? And also, if my friend Dave Palumbo's watching this, or Ron Harris from Muscular Development, or Dan Solomon from Digital Muscle, bring this guy on, because I think this guy has a wealth of knowledge. I mean, we just sort of, this is just the tip of the iceberg with him. Tip of the iceberg. Have him on, because I think he's got a lot to say. But where social media-wise can friends and fans go?
Just look up my name on Instagram, Abbas Khatami. It's IFBB_Abbas_Khatami. I had a website, but I'm not really keeping up with it. But I just want to say the show here is great. Jim always puts on a great show. The pros were just up there guest posing. It was fucking unbelievable. They're fucking mass monsters. I mean, and I was known for conditioning. And I busted my ass just to get in like shape. Could I have come fuller? Yes, but I always wanted to like just bring that hard ass conditioning. And in doing so, that will expose your weak body parts. So you either come full and everything looks good, or you come conditioned and there may be a little, body parts that they can pick out, but I couldn't walk off stage knowing that I wasn't ripped from head to toe. That's it.
Well, I really want to thank you for doing this interview for pro bodybuilder Abbas Khatami, Christian Duke, StrengthAddicts.com.